What is the secret behind the greatest books of all time or the world's most beloved films? They have great stories. Let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself completely absorbed by a film, a series, or a book? Suddenly, hours and hours go by and you're on the edge of your seat, even if the plot wasn't something you identified with at first. That's the magic of storytelling, and you can use it too. Did you know that many of Derive's most successful partners, the ones who truly connect with their audience, aren't necessarily those with the most sophisticated technology or the loudest voices? Sometimes, they're not even the ones who earn the most from trading. They're the ones who know how to tell a story. Their story. But what most people don't realize is that the best stories for marketing are personal, relatable, and honest. The kind of stories where someone watching or listening thinks, that could be my story. As a Derive partner, this is your greatest opportunity. You could be sitting on a goldmine of personal experiences that can not only inspire people, but also turn them into loyal followers and customers. When was the last time you told your real story to your audience? Not just the highlights, not just the look at my trading profits post, but the journey itself. Everything that happened along the way. Because I'll be honest with you, some people are far less interested in your results than in your journey. They want to know the highs, the lows, the fears, the mistakes, and the moment when everything clicked. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm not a storyteller, or who would want to hear about my failures? That's where you're mistaken. The way you structure your story is just as important as the story itself. And, luckily, there's a framework that has survived for thousands of years and has driven some of the greatest moments in storytelling around the world. It's called the hero's journey. Let's adapt it to something closer to home for all of us, the trader's journey. This is a step-by-step template you can use to create a story that captivates people, gets them to support you, and most importantly, makes them see themselves following in your footsteps. Here's how it works. First, the ordinary world. This is you before trading, before discovering Derive, before even thinking about extra income, financial freedom, or having a side business. Perhaps you were stuck in a job that didn't excite you. Maybe you felt that no matter how hard you tried, you just couldn't make ends meet. When you describe this part, your audience realizes, hey, that's me right now. Then comes the call to adventure. Something sparks your curiosity. Maybe you see someone talking about trading on the internet. Perhaps you're browsing late at night and stumble across a video about financial independence. And that's when everything clicks. You want to change. You want to give it a try. That's the call, and it's a moment your audience can relate to, because they're also waiting for their own call. But, of course, the journey isn't easy. This brings us to the challenge. You take the plunge, but suddenly you're overwhelmed by the technicalities, or your first trades don't go well, or your friends and family doubt you. You make a few mistakes, you feel imposter syndrome. If you're honest about these challenges, your story gains credibility. No one trusts a journey that's too easy or perfect. People want to know that you struggled, because they're struggling too. Then, the mentor or allies appear. For some, it might be a friend, a mentor, or an online community, perhaps a Derive group or another partner. For others, it's a resource, a book, or simply learning through trial and error. This shows that you didn't do it alone, that you found support. This encourages your audience to seek guidance as well. After the struggle comes the turning point. It's when something finally clicks. Perhaps it's a new strategy, a change in mindset, or the day you finally manage your risk like a professional and things start to improve. This is the breakthrough, And it's the most inspiring part, where your audience begins to believe that they too can achieve it. And finally, the return. Sharing the reward. This is you now, reaching out to others, to your audience. You've been through the highs and lows, and now you offer what you've learned. That's why you're a Derive partner, isn't it? You want to help others avoid mistakes, find shortcuts, and experience the successes you had. So, how can you use this in your next piece of content? Whether it's a short video, a blog post, or a story on social media, guide your audience through these steps. Don't just show the destination, show the whole journey. And last but not least, be authentic. Tell the real story of your journey. No one will tell your story better than you. Of course, you can use techniques to make certain moments sound more exciting, but keep it real. I assure you, your story is much more interesting than you think. Here's a quick checklist you can use. Start with where you were before you began trading. Explain what inspired you to start. Be open about the difficulties and doubts. Mention who or what helped you. Share the moment when things started to work out and describe how your life has changed. You can finish with an invitation. Are you ready to start your journey? I'll be with you every step of the way. Believe me, people don't want to follow an expert who's always been perfect. They want to follow someone who has been through the struggle and come out the other side. When your audience sees themselves reflected in your journey, they're much more likely to trust you, learn with you, and take that first step with you as their guide. So go ahead, share your trading journey. It's not just marketing, it's the most valuable asset you have, and we can't wait to see the lives you change with your story. Ready to inspire someone today? Start telling your story. We'd love to read yours in the comments.